Aloha everyone and welcome to Skincare with Hiram. If you don't know who I am, my name's Hiram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routines. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. I don't know what happened with that shoulder shake. I think I'm constricted in this jacket. I'm not used to wearing jackets in videos because it's always so fucking hot in Hawaii. I can finally be the fashion queen I meant to be. So if you notice, I'm not in my normal studio. I am actually in a hotel room. Get it? Traveling? Have skincare when you travel? I'm traveling. No? But I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to make a video talking about how to skincare when you're traveling. If you guys aren't familiar with my How to Skincare series, I basically talk about how you can take care of your skin in a variety of circumstances, whether you're lazy, whether you're broke, or in this case, whether you're traveling, because taking care of your skin while you're traveling can be a bitch. While I really love traveling, one thing I cannot stand about it is that traveling typically tends to really mess up my skin. Take this trip, for example. I was in Chicago for a week. The dryness, the windiness, all of those contributing factors made my skin kind of freak out, and I had breakouts on my face for a good 5 days. I love it. It was like super great for me. If you traveled to different climates before, you understand the struggle. It is not fun whatsoever, let alone just trying to take care of your skin post-flight. And since I've seen a lot of you guys asking for tips and tricks as to how to take care of your skin when you're traveling, I thought, why not make this video while I am traveling? I'm here in beautiful Chicago. Well, I mean, kind of beautiful if it wasn't fucking freezing. And as I've traveled a pretty good amount of times, I feel like I'm starting to finally wrap my head around the best tips for skincare while traveling, and so I thought, why not share them with you? So let's get into it. So tip number one, and this is going to be something that I wouldn't have guessed when I started traveling and taking care of my skin at the same time, use your tried and true products. I know that when you go shopping, you get small mini travel sizes of various products as freebies. Usually when you travel, those are your first inclination for skincare products to take with you, but I disagree with that. I personally recommend that you only take your tried and true skincare products, the ones that you know have worked for your skin for a long time and will continue to work in a variety of different circumstances. Because when you're traveling, oftentimes your skin is going through so much shit. I mean, you're talking about low humidity in an airplane, the different climate that you're adjusting yourself to when you reach a different destination. And the last thing your skin needs is exposure to a whole new skincare routine that it's never been used to before and hasn't been accustomed to and could have sensitizing reactions to. I learned this after I tried to use so many different like freebie travel size products that I would get. Every time I would travel, my skin would freak out, and I'm not someone who has sensitive skin, but I really do believe that because of all the circumstances that kind of play into traveling and how much bad it does for your skin, adding a whole new skincare routine on top of that is just not what you need. So if anything, I would recommend just using your tried and true products and then supplementing a few new ones to try in there as well. Speaking of tried and true products that I take with me while traveling, this video is sponsored by What happened? This video is sponsored by Zitsticka. If you don't know what Zitsticka is, it's an awesome micro dart pimple patch. What it does is it uses micro dart technology that arranges all the beneficial ingredients into dart forms that can be pressed into your skin to deliver really good pimple treatment ingredients deeper than your standard hydrocolloid patch. You guys are probably familiar because I've talked about Zitsticka a lot, but I really like them, and I particularly like them when traveling because my skin usually is freaking the fuck out. If you do want to learn more about Zitsticka and what exactly it does, I have a whole dedicated video to it. I will link it in the description box below. I personally really like Zitsticka because it has a few ingredients that are my favorites, specifically salicylic acid as well as niacinamide, which helps not only treat the pimple at its source, but also to prevent any scarring or oil production that it'll have in the future. But also, because of the protective layer of the patch over top of your pimple, it really prevents any bacteria from getting onto your skin, which is definitely a problem when you're traveling. I mean, hello, you're in a metal bullet with 200 people. Probably a few of them are sick, and there's going to be a lot of germs around, and you do not want that stuff in your pimple. If you guys are interested in purchasing one of your own, feel free to use this discount code right here. And thank you so much, Zitsticka, for sponsoring this video. And thank you guys for always being super supportive of my sponsorships. Tip number two, when you are prepping to travel, don't buy travel size products. It is just not worth it. Let me tell you, having previously worked in a retail environment, there would always be customers coming in and saying like, where are your travel size products? I can't use my normal size products because I'm traveling. And here's the thing, for any carry-on luggage, they allow a maximum of 100 milliliters. If you look at the majority of your skincare products, I am willing to say all of your skincare products except for your cleanser, they all fall beneath the 100 milliliter line. So you can take your regular normal skincare products on the plane with you in your carry-on luggage, and usually companies will try to sell you travel size items at a really high price point in order to make some extra cash, while not acknowledging that the majority of their products fall within that 100 milliliter bracket. My personal recommendation would be just to bring your regular full-size travel products, but when it comes to a cleanser, purchase a travel size cleanser or just get one of those little travel size bottles, fill it up with your favorite cleanser. It's gonna save you time, money, and the extra waste. You may as well do it. Tip number 3, prepare your skincare routine for the climate that you are going to. My skin personally loves a humid environment, which is why I think it does so well in Hawaii, because it's just healthy and happy there. But once I introduce it to a super dry environment or just anything that's not that nice humidity, it freaks out, and it's really frustrating. Now, while I said it's good to bring your tried and true skincare products, you also want to make sure that you are adequately preparing for the climate that you are going into. For example, I live in Hawaii, it's really humid, my skin is super oily, but whenever I travel to the mainland, my skin gets super dry and dehydrated, and I really have to layer on the moisture. So when I'm bringing my skincare products to the mainland, I always want to make sure to choose my more hydrating emollient products that are going to deliver the hydration that I know I'll need when I'm there. For any really dry climate, I recommend avoiding your oily skin products or any lightweight gel products because you're probably going to need a little bit more moisture. In windy environments, I really recommend moisturizers that have a thicker, heavier consistency because wind can be something that can really overly strip our skin of hydration and moisture, and we want to make sure to combat that. For humid environments, of course, I recommend you breaking out your gel moisturizers and lightweight serums, but also making sure to get a really good sunscreen to go along with it because in a humid environment, you'll likely be kind of sweating off your skincare products, and that includes sunscreen. And usually as well in humid environments, the sun is really strong, so you want to make sure you have a really good sunscreen to help fight against that. Tip number 4, don't apply your skincare products on the plane. I actually learned this from Susan Yara because it's something that I used to do because I thought it would be super fun to, bring my little skincare products on the plane, do a little facial, make it super cute. But here's the thing, when you are in a plane, you are up in the sky, you are basically at 0% humidity. Your skin is dry as the Sahara Desert. And a lot of times what I've seen people do is apply like hyaluronic acid serums or moisturizers with humectants, and it's really bad because when you're in an environment that has 0% humidity and you have a product that's trying to pull in hydration from the environment, it's not going to have anything to pull in, and you can actually risk your moisture barrier. Not only that, planes are typically a bacteria-ridden environment. There are just germs everywhere, and the last thing that I would want to be doing is applying some of those germs onto my face. Whenever I do fly, I always make sure I have hand sanitizer with me, and I apply it pretty regularly because I'm just like, about germs. Getting all up in my face and touching everywhere is just something that I would not recommend in that type of environment. What I recommend is before the flight, make sure you prep your skin, get all the hydration in, find a good, heavier moisturizer that's gonna lock in that hydration throughout the entire flight, and make sure you do it all completely before you get on the airplane. That way, when you're actually on the airplane, you can just sit back, relax, let your products do their thing, and then take them off once you land. Thank you, Susan, for giving me that tip because I totally would have been with everyone else applying my skincare on the plane in that nasty bacteria environment. No bueno. Tip number 5, I recommend to have a flight recovery strategy. I know this sounds super extra, but let me explain. Oftentimes flying can be one of the most traumatizing experiences for our skin because it's exposing our skin to such a low humidity environment. Like I said before, with all that bacteria, all those harsh external factors, and then introducing your skin to a completely different climate than what you came from. And in my experience, that's usually when my skin is the most at risk for sensitivity. So what I recommend doing is having some products in your skincare routine with you that you can apply afterwards that specifically focus on reducing sensitivity, replenishing moisture and hydration to the skin, and just to help soothe it. Some of my favorite ingredients to go in with are like centella extract, because it's really good for just calming redness and sensitivity, as well as oat extract, which is going to really deliver hydration and fight against any extreme dryness. And then I also recommend for the short period after a flight, like a day after, just to avoid any harsh actives on your skin, because your skin's trying to recover from that experience. The last thing it needs is a really harsh exfoliant or a really harsh retinol that could just push it a little bit too far and overly sensitize your skin. Focus on recovering your skin from the experience, getting it acclimatized to the environment that you're in before going in with some of your more treatment products. This is really going to help you in the long run and make sure that you aren't struggling with skin sensitivity from the very beginning of your trip. And then my last tip is to make sure you always reapply sunscreen, which say hello to Hiram in Egypt, who's going to deliver this message. Another tip I always recommend, especially during traveling, because it can be so tempting to see all the sights and just be out and enjoying the moment, that sometimes we forget to reapply Sunscreen, proudly sponsored by No, it's kidding, not sponsored. Always make sure to reapply sunscreen. Sometimes when we're in the shade, we forget that it's really important to reapply because sunscreen is the most important part of the skincare routine. So make sure you always have one on you just to be able to reapply that shit throughout the day and you are good to go. And those are all the tips I have. I know they may not be the most conventional tricks out there, but hey, they have worked for me and they've definitely helped me to have better skin while I'm traveling. Do you guys have any recommendations or suggestions? Leave them in the comment section down below. I want to read through yours because I personally have a few more trips planned and I'm kind of a little worried about how my skin is going to handle those trips. And I need all the help I can get, of course. But my hope is that some of these tips will help you guys in your travels. Again, thank you so much to Zitsika for sponsoring this video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. And I will see you guys in the next video.